warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Azkiya Jasmine Mahendra. Today, I would like to tell you the story of Pinocchio. Long ago in Italy, there lived an old clockmaker named Geppetto. Geppetto was a very cheerful old man, but he felt very lonely. He would think to himself, all my life and no child to call my own. So, one day, Geppetto decided to carve a puppet from wood in the shape of a boy. He cut and sewed a nice outfit for it, as if it was a real boy. I will call you Pinocchio, said Geppetto. That night, when Geppetto went to lay the wooden puppet down onto the bed, he made a wish to a big, bright star. Bright star, said Geppetto. If I could make one wish, it would be for a real boy of my own. But of course, he knew that was not possible. But on that very night, the big, bright star swooshed right into Geppetto's room and transformed into a blue fairy. The blue fairy flew over to the bed. Little wooden puppet, said the blue fairy. In the morning, you will be able to walk and talk like a real boy. She tapped the puppet one time with her wand. And if someday you can prove that you are brave and true, you may become a real boy. Pinocchio's eyes opened. Now, remember Pinocchio, be a good boy and always let your conscience be your guide. And just like that, the blue fairy went swoosh and was gone out of the window and up into the night sky. The next morning, Geppetto went to take Pinocchio out of bed, but he was gone. Here I am, father, said Pinocchio from the other side of the room. Geppetto swung around. What? You can talk? Yep, I am Pinocchio, your boy. But how could this be? Said Geppetto in shock. But who cares? He rushed over and swept the wooden puppet into his arms. Pinocchio, my son, he said, in great happiness. Geppetto loved Pinocchio with all his heart. He even bought some books and sent Pinocchio to school so that he would grow up to be a clever boy. Pinocchio was very excited to go to school. He promised he would be a good boy and make his father Geppetto proud. But Pinocchio was disobedient. He would skip school and play with his friends all day. And when Geppetto found out about his naughtiness, he was very angry. Did you skip school all the time? Asked Geppetto. Pinocchio didn't tell the truth. No, father, I always study in school every day, he lied. Instantly, his wooden nose began to grow long. Are you telling me a lie? Asked Geppetto with a puzzled frown. No, father, I'm telling the truth, he replied, and his nose got even longer. Every time Pinocchio told a lie, his nose would get longer and longer. Every time he did a bad thing, Pinocchio would say, I'm sorry, father. I promise I will be a good boy next time. In a little while, Pinocchio forgot all his promises. He left the school with his friends to join a circus. However, Pinocchio soon realized that living at a circus wasn't fun at all. The poor Pinocchio must work all day long. And since he had stopped going to school, his ears had now become 2 large donkey ears. He he regretted leaving home and missed his father terribly. Then, one day, Pinocchio heard the terrible news that Geppetto had been looking for him and now had been swallowed up by a giant whale. When he heard about his father, he immediately ran away from the circus and set off to rescue his father. Eventually, Pinocchio found the big giant whale that had swallowed his father. However, when the whale saw him, it swallowed him up as well. Inside of its belly, Pinocchio felt horrible. He couldn't believe everything he had done. But then, he saw his father. "Father, it's me, Pinocchio!" he shouted. They were so happy to see each other. "Father, I've got an idea to get us out of here." He began tickling the giant whale's stomach. As soon as it opened its mouth to let out a big sneeze, Pinocchio and Geppetto made their way out of the whale. In the end, Pinocchio and Geppetto got home safely. The Blue Fairy was very pleased with Pinocchio's bravery and courage. As a gift, she magically turned him into a real flesh and blood boy. Since that day, Pinocchio kept all his promises and never missed school ever again. The father and son lived happily ever after. One simple thing we can all learn from this story is that honesty is the key of life. And never let the glitter of pleasure fool you. That's all about Pinocchio. Thank you so much for listening to my story. I hope you enjoyed. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.